Now, before we get started, I would really love it if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you. All right, guys, welcome back to The Last Rewind. This is a impromptu Last Rewind for the people who are WrestleMania fans. We just got done watching night 2 of WrestleMania, and I'm not really surprised at the ending, which we'll get into, but I'm surprised at how it came about. I'll say that part. I didn't get to watch the majority of the pay-per-view. I had to do a lot of rewatching later on because, you know, stuff, work interrupted me and company interrupted me. Yeah. But I did see all this last match and a few other matches from night 1 and night 2. So Jermaine is going to be the expert on most of this stuff. I'm just going to kind of follow his lead and give my opinion on some of the matches that I did not see. What's going to happen probably in the future with some of the storylines going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, you lead off, man. Where we going to go at with this?
So we're gonna touch base on some of the most notable matches from last night and tonight, and you know we recapping what most were excited about, and one of them was the Sami Zayn and Gunther match, which was fire if you ask me. I mean, this match was top tier. It had they played it up like a Rocky type deal, you know. Yeah. They've been in Philly. Sami Zayn was the underdog. Gunther had a very Ivan Drago stance, if you will, and then Chad Gable, he said, "You owe me," kind of Apollo Creedish. He's like, "You owe me. You're gonna owe me." Sami Zayn won. Yeah. This was monumental because
Philadelphia, of course.
Philly also, if you recall, Sami Zayn, he was underdog. He was an underdog when he fought Roman Reigns, maybe a year or so ago. So he definitely wanted to overcome being the underdog. Granted, it was for the IC title, so that's a mid card. But you know, I guess he had to take what he had at the time. Very good match. I was on the edge throughout this match. I thought Gunther was still going to win it because I just didn't see Sami Zayn pulling that off. I mean, he hit him with like 3-4 haluva kicks. And I think the fact that his wife was in the audience added up the drama for overall very good match. If I had to pick up one of my favorites from night 1, I believe I would go with that one.
When you give us your rating for it, when you're done, just tell us what your rating it is out of 10.
I'm going to give it an 8. Not primarily the match, just the storyline around the match. And if you saw what they were doing Friday, they built up the Rocky thing, and Sami Zayn was like, "I'm scared." People like, you remember when Rocky was on the beach?
Yeah.
Sami Zayn,
yeah, I saw it. I'm afraid. Okay, I'm afraid. Who was he training
really
with?
said some shit like that in the he was training with Chad Gable. He was like, "I'm afraid." Yeah. But good match. I give it an 8. It was definitely WrestleMania worthy.
Can Sylvester Stallone sue for that? He don't own the rights to that anymore. I don't think.
I mean, like I said, you can tell they was tying up you can tell they were linking in the Philly connection.
And let's see, Gunther, this is an evil number. You know, he held the belt for 666 days. Has set this title's record for both the longest singular reign and the most cumulative days as champion for the IC championship.
He beat Ricochet to get it. And he had it for a while. It looked like they were trying to give him a Roman Reigns push with the IC title, but I don't think that was in the cards. I do believe Gunther is a big player now. I think he's not a mid card anymore, which is why it was all the more reason for Sami Zayn to take the win tonight. I mean, last night.
Okay. What you got next?
Next.
Oh well, where do you think the Gunther is going to go next? and Sami Zayn. Where do you think is next for them?
Sami Zayn is gonna be a mid-carder for a while still. IC title, that's gonna be his ballpark. Like I said, I think Gunther lost because they got more in store for him. I think Gunther can be up there with the McIntyres, CM Punks. He can compete for the bigger titles. I believe Seth Rollins is gonna lay low for a while. So I believe this was in a weird way, a push for Gunther to just go beyond IC title status rather.
Okay.
All
right. Who you got next?
Yeah, the next one I didn't touch on this one in the beginning of the show, but Rhea Ripley, when she beat Becky Lynch,
That's a pretty decent match.
It was a decent match. Her entrance was pretty good too. Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
I was feeling her entrance. It was nice. I didn't think Becky Lynch was gonna win. She had no reason to win the match. I think they're still pushing Rhea Ripley. I do believe Charlotte Flair comes back. Rhea Ripley did beat Charlotte Flair last year. Yeah. Charlotte Flair is going to come back, and they're going to set that feud up. And especially now that we saw what happened with Damian Priest, they got 2 champions in the Judgment Day. It really makes sense now.
Yeah, they're building up that whole group.
Yeah, I believe they are going to be Bloodline-ish. This is the start of Judgment Day. Bloodline is pretty much crumbled, but this is the start of Judgment Day, if you ask me.
All right.
Touched on Sami Zayn. What did you give the match? Jimmy. I wasn't really feeling that match.
What'd you rate it?
I don't know, 5. It was monotone to me. I think the storyline behind it was better than
it actually was. Yeah.
Yeah. The storyline behind it was better than the match. I really wasn't feeling the match. I watched it for the sake of it was on. But, the storyline behind it was better than the match. Brother and brother, twin. But the match itself was very mid-cardish. I got to touch on this one. I am so happy for this cat, R-Truth. I got to touch on this one, man. I've been watching R-Truth since forever when he was K-Quick.
Yeah, oh, man, not K-Quick. He's coming out there dancing, doing splits.
And he never had a WrestleMania moment. I was so happy tonight he had his WrestleMania moment. He climbs the damn ladder, Red, and I'm thinking this fool's going to fall. And he's going to blow his moment. So he does unhook the damn belts and he gets it. And
I thought it was going to take him forever to unhook that thing. I said, he's not going to do it in time.
I did too. I was like, man, someone's going to come and get him. And it's all bad. But he unhooked it, and him and Miz, they already reunited. If you remember Team Awesome Truth, I was happy to see them win. I think they're going to have a nostalgia run. And it's not going to be a long run.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be good for a couple of laughs and nostalgia and a good feeling. But frankly, I think DIY is going to beat them. I foresee them being Jardine Gargano. I forget the other guy's name. But I foresee them having a good run and probably beating R-Truth and Miz. I think R-Truth and Miz was just a good feeling for WrestleMania.
So you foresee maybe a 2 to 3 month title run?
Yeah, at the least. I can't, because R-Truth don't really have matches like that. He come out for a promo and something funny. I don't remember him having a match like that.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh man. So the other is Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. I didn't watch this match. I didn't. I saw I know it was a short match from what I did see. I didn't watch it live, rather. I saw the clips of it, and that one I predicted. I knew McIntyre was going to win that. And I want to say I knew Damian Priest was going to cash in on him. I believe I told you that.
You said Damian Priest was either going to maybe do this match or the next match. But I think you probably more specifically on this match.
It was this match because I didn't see him like cashing in on Cody Rhodes and ruining Cody Rhodes' moment if he won, what we now know he did. And I definitely didn't see him cashing in on Roman Reigns if Roman Reigns retained. So it was definitely this match. I think Damian Priest is for the moment. I think he's going to stay in Judgment Day, but I do think he's going to get a little too big for Judgment Day.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going off of what you were saying earlier. Well, how they're building this group.
They're building it, and it's good. They're building it, and it's a good deal. He's gonna stay in for a while. I just see. I see him getting a little big headed. He's first. Not the first, but he's Puerto Rican descent. I believe he's the second, or it's been a while since there was a Puerto Rican champion. So I see him just getting bigger than the Judgment Day, but he's gonna go back and try. I think the fact that he's won the title while he's in the Judgment Day builds up the credibility of the Judgment Day.
You think at some point Dom is going to try to take over and become head?
No. He doesn't have that in him. If anything, it'd be Rhea Ripley or Finn Balor.
Him being a heel and eventually taking his spot.
If Dom becomes the head of the Judgment Day, he has to get over this this innocent look. He has an innocence look, if you ask me. He doesn't have a dominant look. I know he tries to. Damian Priest has a dominant look. Dominic doesn't have a dominant look, and I think he looks a little too innocent to take over the Judgment Day.
Where do you rate this match of Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre?
I'm gonna go 7. Like I said, I saw snippets of it. I basically saw the whole match. I just didn't see it live. I'm gonna say it was a 7. I do believe him pissing off Punk and
that was nice. Him on commentary.
Because Punk
I knew he was gonna take that arm brace off at some point. I thought he was gonna hit him with the arm brace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Punk beat his ass, and then Damian Priest cashed in. I think the cash in and the CM Punk beating his ass just helped that match a lot more. It pushed it up to about a 7 or 8-ish. But it was a 7. I'll give it a solid 7. Seth Rollins is. I think Seth Rollins is really injured, and he may be gone for a while too after tomorrow. Everyone's gonna be there Monday night. The Raw after Mania, everyone's gonna be there. It's still in Philly. So everyone's gonna be there. It's just that after Monday, that's when the storylines are gonna go deeper as to who we can work with a regular schedule. Because Rock ain't staying.
Got movies in
it. Rock not staying. I don't think Seth Rollins is gonna hang around that much longer. I think Roman Reigns is gonna take a break. Cody Rhodes is obviously a champ, so he's gonna hang around. But it starts right back up, the build back up to they would start working the storylines for the next WrestleMania.
Where does Drew McIntyre go? And before you even get into that, we have to say he's had one of the lightheartedest title reigns of probably anybody on that company, because the first one he had was right during COVID, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He won the title in the empty arena 2020 WrestleMania.
Yeah, and then he had this one, which I don't know what the record is now for shortest title reign. Who has that now? Is it Yokozuna? Does he have the shortest one? Because you remember he lost to Hogan at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
he beat Hart, and then Hogan came out. Yeah, we have to figure it out. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I'll look it up.
Trivia question, but
yeah.
Where Drew McIntyre goes from here? I think back mid card. Tell you the truth, I think he's going to go back to mid card because he got his ass beat by CM Punk. CM Punk is going for Damian Priest. CM Punk is going for that belt. I think that's the next push there. CM Punk is going for the heavyweight title. McIntyre probably hang around a bit and him and Punk could have a match here and there just for redemption from Punk. But I don't see Drew McIntyre being in this spot he was next year at next year's Mania. I don't.
Okay. I found out who has the shortest title reign, and it's not Yokozuna. I forgot this one. It was Andre the Giant.
Interesting.
Man, he gave the belt to Ted DiBiase after he won it.
Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that. I do remember that now.
At 1 minute and 48 seconds.
I do remember that.
Seth Rollins was not that far behind though. Money in the Bank, 2 minutes. It looks like Dean Ambrose cashed it in. I guess he cashed in the Money in the Bank. Yokozuna was 2 minutes and 6 seconds at number 3. John Cena was 3 minutes and 33 seconds at Elimination Chamber in 2010. And number 5 was Daniel Bryan, 4 minutes and 7 seconds.
I thought Bob Backlund was on there. I remember back in the day, Diesel beat Bob Backlund. And and I thought that was like some record time. I remember the match because Diesel jackknifed Bob Backlund. And I want to say that was like a record time.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. It was in the mid-90s. I'm trying to remember. How long was that he had the belt? I can't find it right now. We'll move on to the next thing. What's the next match?
The next two are obviously the two main events. There was a tag match with Bloodline and Rhodes and Rollins, and then
every Samoan you can name.
Yeah. And I called that match. I said Rock and Reigns was gonna win, and they did. There was nothing too stand outish in that match. Nothing really popped off. The fact that they beat Rock and Roman Reigns beat the holy hell out of Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And then it was Bloodline Rules, but to quote Michael Cole throughout the night, what the hell was the difference from the two nights? It was all Bloodline Rules. Like,
right. Every year it's been Bloodline Rules.
It's like the stipulation was Bloodline Rules, but
they didn't have
Roman Reigns had the belt. It's been Bloodline Rules.
They didn't have The Rock before. Now it's Bloodline Rules. Before it was Bloodline Rules, but now it's Bloodline Rules.
But that was a good match. But
I thought it was solid. I give it a 7. I would say like a 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was a solid match.
About a 7.5 or 8.
Lot of close falls. A lot of work between Cody and Seth. They worked great as a tag team in that match. I can't say I really don't remember a lot of Rock and Roman Reigns working together in the match like Seth and Cody were working. They seem like they tag in and then one get out, one get in, but not a lot of suplexes of them working together like Seth and Cody were doing.
That's true. It was more individuality between them two. Every time like Roman Reigns would just hang out on the ring apron or under the ring or near the ring, and then they're like use the table or the chair. It was a good match. I enjoyed the match, but tonight, what we just saw was awesome. I think that in turn lets us know as wrestling fans why I think Triple H is taking this company. Seth Rollins, Undertaker, John Cena, all these cats interfered with this match. Seth Rollins came out with the Shield entrance and the costume.
Well, that was a waste of time, though. He didn't
do it because as soon as
he didn't even land a punch. He didn't even get in the ring halfway. They didn't even give the fans enough time to recognize what he was doing. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm guessing he came through the crowd. They never panned to the crowd. The Shield was coming through, so that was disappointing, I thought.
And I was in the back of my mind hoping it was Dean Ambrose because we knew Seth Rollins was there, but it would have been a bigger pop if it was Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, well, we know he's with AEW, but it was like, well, maybe Tony Khan gave him the night off and gave him a one-off to come out there to WrestleMania.
Yeah, but like I said, it was a very good match. That match right there, 9, 10ish,
You and I?
9, 10ish. I was on edge. I was on edge. You see the shirt. I was rooting for the bloodline. I thought Roman was going to pull it out again. Didn't happen. I like the celebration in the end. Everyone came out to, big up Cody, his mom, Brandy Rhodes, all the wrestlers who probably are going to feud with him tomorrow. But in the moment, they gave him his flowers. Triple H came out.
Well, I'm gonna say that I thought there was going to be, there seemed to be more with just The Rock and Roman Reigns, the tag team match, interference in that match than this match. So I was thinking with all the bloodline that was supposed to come out, and I actually thought they all were going to just be, originally I thought they were going to be at the ring all
Right.
at the same time. That's what I originally
You
thought.
thought it was going to be more bloodline interference.
Yeah, more than that, because there was more interference. I mean, I guess you can't call it interference because it was a tag team match, but in a way it was, because The Rock was interfering and doing stuff that shouldn't have been legal, including messing with the referee. But with the singles match, I thought they were all going to either be there or they were going to come out at one time and interfere with the match. But they all just kind of came out one at a time and then went away. So
Yeah.
I wish they kind of made it like a lumberjack match almost, with just the bloodline there.
I was hoping for a new bloodline member. I know The Rock's
Rikishi.
daughter.
What if Rikishi came out
Like, I know The Rock's daughter is in the business. Maybe hoping for something with her.
Wow.
I know the Usos got a little brother other than Solo who's in the business. I think he's in NXT. Was hoping for something with that, but to your point, it's almost like, like we've been, like they were like, all right, we've been there, done this with the bloodline interfering. So let's get these legends to interfere and help Cody. Let's get Cena. Let's get Undertaker. Let's get them to come in.
Yeah,
Seth
I did not
Rollins.
see Undertaker coming out.
I didn't see that one coming. And he didn't have like his full Undertaker gimmick. He was in a hoodie and all black. He didn't have his
That was biker take. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Because what I was seeing, and I think we talked about earlier briefly, I said it's going to be relatable people to the Roman Reigns streak.
Right.
So I was like, John Cena came out, and of course, Roman Reigns destroyed him during the streak and really put Cena on his worst losing streak of his career. And Solo too, he took him out. I thought somehow maybe Stone Cold's going to come out because The Rock is out here. Stone Cold's going to come out here. I know that's not related to Roman Reigns, but I thought with the people that are coming out, with Jimmy and Jey Uso, like those are relatable. With John Cena, Solo, that's relatable. And The Rock, I said Stone Cold's going to come out. Did not expect Undertaker to come out, but I guess the only thing that can say relatable, if you go back over to Reigns, was Reigns somewhat retired Undertaker, even though he came back after that. He after he beat him, he put the boots and the jacket and the hat in the middle of the ring. So I was like, well, maybe that's why he came back.
You know what? I think it was just more so
shock value,
not necessarily how they relate to Reigns, but just the name themselves interfering in that match, to the ultimate good guys interfering in that match to just dethrone Roman Reigns. And if Roman Reigns, if he has any argument, it took the legends to dethrone me, he can say that, but it's bullshit at that point, because you were the champ. Roman Reigns was the champ since 2019, 2020. So his promo is going to be really weak to back up as to him losing.
Y'all had to bring out the greatest Hall of Famers of all time to beat me.
Yeah. You have to say something like that, and it just it just won't mesh well. I do gotta also mention, man, the non-wrestling things that happened was you got
What's that?
Snoop Dogg on commentary.
Okay. And I spoke to you on text. Why, if Snoop is, and I don't even understand how, him being from Compton, he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but he had a Philadelphia Eagles jersey on tonight. Like, you can't flip flop like that, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
he's worse than Stephen A. Smith, who is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan too. He's worse than Stephen A. Smith
Yeah, he all over the place.
because I mean, in Snoop Dogg's defense, I guess he can just say it was in Philly, so he got a rest.
Contact.
Jason Kelsey was there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was nice.
Jason Kelsey, Snoop Dogg, the band that performed with Rhea Ripley. I like Roman Reigns' entrance with the
Oh
orchestra
yeah.
choir.
Yeah.
That was tight. That was tight. I was hoping, and this is just the fan in me hoping that we were gonna get Meek Mill
Uh-huh.
for Cody Rhodes' entrance. Hear me out.
Okay.
Dreams and Nightmare,
Uh-huh.
American Nightmare.
Well, he's gonna rap to
I
that
don't know
part.
how he was like. He could have just rapped the beginning, and then Cody Rhodes comes out to his normal song. But I was like, in Philly, I was just thinking maybe they can do that.
Nah,
But
he's just in the crowd. Let's let him enjoy
he was
himself.
in the. Now he did like a little promo before it started. Wale was in the crowd. 2 Chainz was in the crowd. George Kittle was in the crowd.
George Kittle was in the crowd, yeah.
But overall, man, yeah, I thought it was a good show. I thought that last match sets up some possible storylines. I can't wait to see where we go with Damian Priest and Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn. Those are the two. Those are the few that I think there's some good storyline, some good writing for their characters because of what happened tonight. I can't wait to see where we go with that. They're getting out of this. They're getting out of this, I guess, PG era, and it's more attitude-ish. So,
Are we though? I'm just wondering. Are we? Is it only because Rock is here right now, and then once Rock leaves, it goes back to where it was before?
maybe, maybe, maybe
It,
that
it's
may be it. But keep in mind they're going to Netflix next year.
yeah,
So
that's true. But that's good. I'm glad you mentioned that part. Why, if we're on the pay-per-view, are they blurting out curse words?
right, I don't know.
And some of them, because I can still hear Roman Reigns cursing out, like, saying this fucking boy don't know what he's dealing with. He ain't shit to me.
I heard it too. Hey, Roman Reigns was in his bag for 4 years with this character. If you are a Bloodline fan, you're kind of heartbroken tonight because this is the end of the Bloodline. It is. Even if Roman Reigns comes out tomorrow and cuts a promo and they have a rematch, I always said to myself, when Roman Reigns loses his belt, that's the end of the Bloodline because it loses its luster after that. It just loses its appeal after that. And I think tonight was the end of the Bloodline. So you can put the Bloodline up there with the Nation, Evolution, NWO, Four Horsemen. It's probably one of the greatest fashions in wrestling history.
Man. So how long would you say you predict that Cody keeps this belt? Think he got a year run in him?
He definitely ain't touching Roman Reigns.
Oh
We
no,
know that.
that was
But
under special circumstances
that was
too.
that was COVID played a part with that
Yeah.
as well. I say he gets a year. I say he gets up until next WrestleMania. Yeah.
Okay.
I give him a year.
Would that
He
set
got
up
some
a
competition.
Cody CM Punk match, maybe?
I think we're gonna see a Cody CM Punk feud.
If he
Yes.
stays healthy, of course.
I think we see a Cody CM Punk feud. Or not McIntyre, but Damian Priest CM Punk. CM Punk's going after one of these belts. He's probably gonna go after Cody now because they got more of a history. They have more of a history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. CM Punk is definitely, I think, gonna go for Drew McIntyre once he gets back. I thought he was going to be going after him with him having the belt. So I don't know if CM Punk is going to go for Damian Priest, once he comes back and gets healthy, or once he gets past the Drew McIntyre beef or whatever. But he is on the Raw brand. But that's
on the Raw brand.
If
I
you
think
win Royal Rumble, of course, you can go wherever.
I think CM Punk is just going to want to beat Drew McIntyre up for sending him home. Then he's going to focus on a belt or title run. And if you got to give CM Punk a title run, it does make sense to probably lean more so towards Cody based off the history and the storyline that they can generate off that. I don't know what CM Punk got going on with Damian Priest. I can't see him doing anything with Damian Priest that would be as entertaining as it can be with Cody Rhodes.
All right.
But yeah, man, awesome WrestleMania. I can't wait for Monday night tomorrow to see what happens there. I enjoy myself. I enjoy watching it.
Well, I tell you what, it's really about to change too. Now you think about it. Let's see. And who were the last two champions? It was Roman Reigns, and who was the one before him? Was it Lesnar?
No, it was Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
Roman Reigns won that belt from Braun Strowman 2019 at Payback. I remember it well. He came out with Paul Heyman, signed the contract. That's when he was wearing that shirt, wreck everyone and leave, and he just came out and just won it quick like that. It was Braun Strowman.
Okay. And Roman Reigns, he had both of them at one point. Well, of course, till tonight.
That's when he beat Lesnar.
Yeah. I was going to say what's going to change now going forward, which is a pleasant change, I will say. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns were not weekly champions as far as fighting weekly,
right,
or monthly, or even hardly even quarterly. So you're going to see more matches with Cody Rhodes. It's going to be a workhorse fighter, kind of probably like Seth Rollins was.
You definitely are going to see that with Cody Rhodes, and I hope it doesn't get stale, because it was starting to get a little stale with Seth Rollins, to the point where I get it, you want to be the workhorse champion, but
you got to make it special.
What made Roman Reigns so entertaining and special is the fact that he didn't wrestle every week, and he was. But maybe that only worked for heels. I don't know. Maybe that only worked for heels. Cody Rhodes is a face, so
I think there's something to it. There's psychology behind it. You don't want to expose something too much because people will get tired of seeing it. It's like having a match with blood every Monday. It doesn't have the same effect if you only do it a couple of times out the year. So yeah, I can totally get that. And that's, I think, the psychology of why they made Lesnar do it. And I think Lesnar just didn't want to be there as much. And Roman Reigns, I think they just passed that on to him, say, hey, we're going to make you a main event star, a coming attraction that we're only going to have a few times a year. But I also think it wasn't done enough. Like they didn't have enough matches. Maybe one match a month is fine, but one match like every couple months or so, or even less than that. It's like Lesnar didn't even have a match on Raw for like years, decades almost.
But you know what? That came with Paul Heyman as well, and I think he's a big question mark in this too. He got the Hall of Fame. Obviously, his relevance was being the wise man to Roman Reigns. So I'm a huge Bloodline fan. I'm a little hurt tonight. And when Cody Rhodes won, I said to myself, man, this is it. This is it. This is it. I don't think the Judgment Day is going to be as dominant as the Bloodline was.
Mm-hmm.
But Judgment Day is going to pick up some speed. I mean, they already got something going, but I don't think Damian Priest is going to be quite Roman Reigns if Damian Priest stays in the Judgment Day.
Well, you got the Bloodline shirt. Will you now be getting a Cody tattoo on the neck?
No. I'm happy for Cody. finished his story. But I mean, if you go back to Stardust and when he was doing dashing Cody Rhodes, maybe it's gonna bring Brandy Rose in. She made an appearance tonight in the ring.
Oh, no, we don't need that. That's why they got
She
booed
can,
out of the
she
building in
can
AEW.
she can reunite that feud with Jade Cargill.
Yeah, that's also true. You did predict that Goldust might appear tonight. See, that would have been
I was
during the
hoping for that.
run-ins. Yeah,
I was hoping for
that would have been nice.
Goldust to appear, and not in his full Goldust attire, but in the gold paint,
Hmm.
with the gold paint on his face, and then just like on a black hoodie or something. Or he could have just appeared as Dustin Rose. I was hoping for that. But that didn't happen.
Okay. Oh no, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view. Um, this is definitely building towards next year's.
Absolutely. I think Triple H, I told you before, Triple H, if we're going to go top Mount Rushmore of great wrestling minds, Vince, Paul Heyman, Eric Bischoff, Triple H, in my opinion. Triple H is in his bag with some storylines and his creativity. I give him that.
I'll say one other thing. Why I think this is a good thing for Cody Rhodes to have the championship over Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, I will say, he was good for pay-per-views. It was good, when you want to go through all the other matches and you wait and see the main event at the end. There's Roman Reigns. That's the guy to beat, the guy that seems no one can beat him. Where it was bad was it was hard to create people that were believable to beat him.
Mm.
It was hard, LA Knight, he was the new guy. But it was like, he's not
They
gonna beat
tried
him.
with him. He fell off.
Right.
He's damn near becoming mid-card now.
Yeah. Randy Orton was like, I love Randy Orton. We
Maybe
know this
Randy
guy can
Orton
beat him.
5 years ago.
Yeah. It had too many people that would challenge Roman Reigns for the belt. And it was like, there's no way he's going to beat him. Like, only person that can probably beat him is Lesnar, because he did it so many other times. And then Cody Rhodes popped up and like, maybe Cody Rhodes can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now with Cody Rhodes having the belt, he right now he doesn't look like someone that's unbeatable.
He looks more. It gives off the illusion that it's not a fair fight, but there are more opponents for him as opposed to Reigns. Right when Roman Reigns used to say I beat everybody, he really kind of did. Cody Rhodes, he
with
can
everybody
beat.
helping him.
Cody Rhodes can start with he can go with anybody, and it's going to be a fair, doable fight. Punk is in there. If Seth Rollins want to go there, because remember Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins had a feud a couple months ago before they got all buddy.
Yeah.
So they can reunite that. They can rekindle that. So there was more opponents that suit. I'm gonna break it down. There's more opponents that suits a character like Cody Rhodes as
Yes.
opposed to a character like Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Cena coming back to challenge Roman Reigns. Like, nah, it's not gonna happen.
And that's when it got bad because they had to rely on legends
Yeah.
for Roman Reigns. I think he faced Cena twice, if memory serves correct.
I believe so.
Then it was like they tried to push LA Knight when he had that buzz, but that didn't work. And if you ask me, that's when LA Knight started to go down after he lost to Roman Reigns. Now he facing AJ Styles tonight. That was a decent match too.
Yeah. AJ Styles will be retiring soon, so he's just fighting geriatrics right now.
I think AJ Styles'
Geriatrics.
highlight was losing to Undertaker and Undertaker's last match in that
Right.
movie theatric match in the barn.
Also during COVID, everything just changed during COVID.
Yeah, but
Some for the worse and some for the better.
absolutely. But we wanted to come on here and touch base, like Red said. This was impromptu. We just finished watching, and we wanted to come on here and touch base on and recap. What we thought about WrestleMania and how we feel as if the company and the storylines are going to go further. Hope you guys enjoyed WrestleMania. I can't wait to watch Raw Monday, so we can get to it. That's basically, the Raw after Mania is usually the best, so that's gonna be pretty good too.
All right, y'all. Well, this has been The Last Rewind. Thank y'all for joining us. And make sure and like and subscribe and so you can get these notifications for these new episodes. And we'll see you on the next episode of The Last Rewind. Peace.
Peace.